Hello, and welcome to another episode of True Dungeon Talk with Trent. I'm Trent of TrentTokens.com. I'm a big fan of the game called True Dungeon and a very avid collector of tokens. In today's episode, I'm at Gen Con 2024. I'm backstage at True Dungeon, and I'll be interviewing staff and volunteers. I'm here with Jeff Martin, the creator of True Dungeon. Jeff, everyone here at Gen Con loves True Dungeon. For anyone who's never played True Dungeon, how would you describe it?
Well, I always, when I designed it 21 years ago, I was just trying to give people an idea what it would be like to be in a real, like, fantasy adventure. You know, you played it on computers, you played it on a tabletop, and I wanted to kind of create a way where you kind of feel kind of what it would be like to actually be in one of those events. So that's why we call it True Dungeon, because it's like, hey, it's what it's like truly to be there. And so that's what we tried, a nice immersive gaming experience.
All right, for the Gen Con attendees, what would you say is your favorite thing about bringing True Dungeon to Gen Con?
I think it's just to add to the greatness that is Gen Con. I mean, I've been going to this con since I was 17, 40-something years ago, and been to every one, and I just love the fact that we're kind of the cherry on top for Gen Con. It's a one in a million thing to do, and I just like the fact that we're kind of known as their big event, and that we get to be a part of the whole thing.
Excellent. So if you've never played True Dungeon, you can go and play it at many different conventions. I would recommend coming to Gen Con to play True Dungeon. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us your name and what you do here at True Dungeon.
My name's Tiffany Age. I'm the NPC coordinator. I do makeup and I also NPC.
All right, for someone who's never played True Dungeon before, how would you describe it?
My favorite way to describe True Dungeon is if you take Dungeons and Dragons plus an escape room, you've got 7 rooms to either solve the puzzle or defeat the monster.
Sounds like fun. I highly recommend it. Tell us your name and what you do for True Dungeon.
Well, my name is Tommy St. Patrick O'Ryan, and I do a lot of accents as an NPC. So, the thing is, when you are an NPC, you are like player, you are character, you are helping with puzzle or something like that, and so that's what I do. And it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Now, for someone who's never played True Dungeon, how would you describe it?
I think of it as escape room meets D&D. So you've got a lot of the fun rules of D&D and the classes and the fighting and the magic and all that stuff mixed with solving puzzles. And it's really fun. You have 12 minutes in each room, and it's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, let's go play.
Yeah.
So tell us your name and what you do at True Dungeon.
Hey, my name is J. Michael McAfee, and I am NPCing this year as an Anubis guard.
Excellent. Now, what would you say is your favorite thing about being an NPC?
Oh my gosh. I love being able to add to that PC experience, color, like the rooms are like really well done and like well designed. I could just kind of hang out in one all day. But like adding that kind of human element to the game I see it in the participants' eyes. It's like a game changer, you know? And so to be able to just add my little zhuzh, my little bit of color to that experience is really cool for me.
Awesome. Thank you. Tell us your name and what you do for True Dungeon.
My name is Lexi, and I am an NPC/puzzle DM for True Dungeon. I've been doing this for 12 years, and I love it with all my heart. It is the reason I come to Gen Con every year.
Wow, me too. Now, for someone who's never played True Dungeon, how would you describe it?
What I tell people is like an escape room but cooler. There's 7 movie sets that you walk through and you are your character, and you get to fight these really amazing animatronic monsters using shuffleboard, and then if you're a wizard, you memorize spells, you have all these cool things you can cast, and then you solve really intricate, really fun puzzles where the sets are just amazing. I love walking through and seeing everything they designed each year.
Well, now you're making me want to play. Thank you. Tell us your name and what you do here at True Dungeon.
Certainly. So hi, my name is Jessa. I usually play an NPC or NPC DM, which means I run puzzles. And then I also work with virtual True Dungeon, and then I'm a dungeon master.
And how long have you been doing all of those things you just said?
About 8 years.
Wow.
It's been a very long time, yes.
Wow. And what would you say is your most favorite thing about those different roles?
I really enjoy the challenge of portraying different characters. My philosophy is if you don't know who I am and you don't know me personally, then I've done my job. So there's always something different every year, some new fun costume and fun theme, and I really enjoy sort of changing it up and playing different roles.
Awesome. Thank you. Tell us your name and what you do for True Dungeon.
My name is John Cook, and I'm the NPC coordinator for True Dungeon.
And how long have you been NPC coordinating?
Well, I've been NPC coordinating since about 2015, but I've been volunteering since about 2009. So.
Wow. Now, what keeps you coming back so many years?
The reason that I keep coming back, the thing when I first tried True Dungeon and the thing that made me volunteer for True Dungeon was the chance to get to tell a story and entertain the players. It's really kind of an answer you'll hear from a lot of people. We really do this to see people having a good time and really enjoying themselves. One of the best parts about the NPC thing is kind of crafting these denizens to throw into the dungeon, and we have a great time sort of playing with the players and getting to be the reactive part of the dungeon and really giving them a good show. That's what we keep coming back for.
Excellent. And I would agree, interacting with the NPCs in the dungeon is very, very cool. So thank you for all that you do.
Sure, thank you.
Tell us your name and what you do for True Dungeon.
Hey, my name's Katrina Miles. I've been volunteering since like 2009, so I think that's like 13, 14 years. Honestly, I kind of lose track these days. But I do a lot of kind of the NPC. I do like the NPC DMing. I just try to help out wherever I can, but mainly NPC.
Awesome. Now, what keeps you coming back every year for so many years to volunteer and play NPC characters?
I love that I always get some type of different role. It's always challenging. I love the energy of the players. I love the community. Honestly, I can keep going and on with this. I mean, it depends on how long you just want me to continue talking.
All right, that's awesome. Now, I've done a lot of True Dungeon, and I've seen her a lot. It's amazing. You have to try it. Thank you.
You do. Thank you.
Tell us your name and what you do for True Dungeon.
My name is John. For True Dungeon, let's see, I do a little bit of everything. Right now, I'm kind of in charge of the transmute room, but kind of helped with build. I mean, I'm just all over the place. So
Got it.
Kind of a jack of all trades.
That's true. He's being very humble. He does a lot for True Dungeon. Now, how long have you been working? You're a full-time employee at True Dungeon, right?
Yes, sir. Trent, yes.
He said, sir.
I'm sorry. My mom would kill me if I didn't. Let's see. So they brought me on 19. Then we had the pandemic, so that kind of like did some crazy stuff. I don't think we had a Gen Con in 20 because of that.
Right. It was a little messy there. Right. Now, speaking of Gen Con, how does it feel seeing almost 8,000 people come through and play in True Dungeon every year at Gen Con? What kind of experience is that for you?
So because of the pandemic, we're kind of growing the number of players that can actually go through the dungeons and stuff, and it has just been absolutely phenomenal to see. I mean, we get our big crazy family back together. We build 4 dungeons. It's awesome to see all this. We got our NPCs, DMs. They're just like I said, they're just a crazy part of the family, and it's just awesome to have them all back. Every year.
Awesome. So if you want to be part of the True Dungeon family, come and try. Can you tell us your name and what you do for True Dungeon?
My name is Caitlin Patrick Nichols, or CPN as I am sometimes known, and I am Lori's Minion.
Lori's Minion. Is that on your business card? Is that an official title?
If I had business cards, it would be.
All right. Now, what would you say is your favorite thing when it comes to working for True Dungeon?
The community. We have an incredible group of volunteers and of players. Everybody is always super friendly and excited, and just it makes everything feel more fun because of how enthusiastic they all are.
Awesome. I think we've heard that before, right? Now, for someone who's never played True Dungeon, how would you describe it?
All right, so my elevator pitch whenever people ask me up front is always that it is what would happen if a haunted house, a traditional D&D hex crawl, and an escape room had a baby.
Okay.
It's a 2-hour for most of our dungeons. Live action dungeon crawl adventure. We've got 7 rooms. We alternate between puzzle and combat. You never know what's coming next. And it's just fun. So much fun.
I agree. It is fun. Well, thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Can you tell us your name and what you do for True Dungeon?
Yes, I'm Lori Martin, and my husband and I, Jeff, own True Dungeon, and I do a lot of the business side of stuff, and he's more the creative guy.
All right. So you have got to tell us what it's like to endure living with Jeff and also working with Jeff?
Yes, yes. It's probably more the opposite. What is it more like to work with me and have to live with me? But I would say for anybody that works with their spouse, it's definitely a challenge, but we've made it work for 21 years now. So we've been doing True Dungeon for 21 years, and we've been married for 29 years. So, so far, so good. We're still speaking to one another at the end of the day, and sometimes not a lot, but yeah, some days more than others. But yeah, I mean, we've made it work.
Awesome. And what would you say is your most favorite thing about coming to Gen Con?
Absolutely. That's an easy one for me. The community. The community of volunteers and event team that we have, the community of players. I'm not a gamer, so I was not really, I've never seen anything like that, and our community is just the most amazing folks and just wonderful people that we've met from doing this event.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Lori, and thank you very much for everyone watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this series of True Dungeon Talk with Trent. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.